Hello, people. Well, I'm making this very short video because I want to point out some mistakes you had last week that I am really convinced you can avoid. Okay, so as not to lose time today or waste time actually trying to correct these mistakes, I am going to share this test two. Where is it? There it is. Very good. There you have it. Okay, I am going I marked, of course, the correct answers. Here you have the correct answers, but I want you to reflect on why these are the correct answers, right? So after a short time living in a foreign country, I noticed conversations with locals assumed a predictable pattern. Well, that is done. There were standard answers to the usual questions. Think about the topic questions, right? Most questions cost little, and here you had several options: puzzle, travel, obstacle, barrier, right? But what do we say? Cost little. Would you say puzzle? If you say puzzle, puzzle is a question. So it's a synonym of question. You wouldn't say puzzle, right? You wouldn't say for this collocation obstacle, because obstacle is something physical that is an obstacle that you have to go through, right? And the same happens with barrier, right? So of course the obvious was travel, right? Then in number 2, you have the question of toes here. Toes are the fingers in your foot. So the only one that is connected to the field, the topic of foot, is stepping on each other's toes, right? Then, well, struggled, many of you did it correctly. So when you are going home, that number 3, yes, was a question I struggled to answer. But of course, you know that struggle is like a mental fight. Yes. Would you say stretch? Stretch what to answer? Competed with whom? No había con quién competir. And worked, you needed a preposition. So struggled to answer. Whenever I considered this one, everyone did okay. Considered my laugh and the direction. Here we have a very particular, or not very particular, but a very important thing. The direction your life seemed to be taking. That you take a direction. That is the construction or the thing that you have to think about in your mind. Yes, you take a direction. That's why the direction your life seemed to be taking. All right. Then usually in search, that is a phrase, in search of a purpose, right? So here we have in search of a purpose, right? Not in look of a purpose, because we don't say in look. We don't say in sight. We don't say in inquiry of a purpose. Number 7, aimless. This was related with the meaning of wandering. Wandering means deambular. So aimless wandering. Deambular completa el sentido de wandering, que es sin sentido, right? Sin un objetivo. Then variety, everyone did correctly. Here, this was very difficult. Most of you had problems. Most of you. I agree with number one. Number 1, the word one, that was the correct one, was difficult. I agree with this one. But then you were speaking about this place that is a cooking school, right? That is run by Caitlin Doyle, right? And then you have the center of Dublin. You are speaking about location. So far from the center, not far from the center. Then I opened the school 12 years ago. The school was by no means an overnight success. I found, this is emphasis. I found it necessary to work hard. Many people did it to build up a reputation. One of my advantages was that I had problems with my own cooking. I made, and think about this, mistake that it's possible to make. I made every mistake that is possible to make. Or, less probable, I've made each mistake that is possible to make. But every was the perfect one, right? And then you have the reason. Because of this, yes, this is make every possible mistake. Por eso, I know what people do wrong from first-hand experience. Just like most cookery schools, so comparing with the others. And then here you have a relative clause, people, a relative clause. France and Italy and other countries which have a reputation for excellent food. When you add information and you have an extra clause adding information, think about relative clauses. And then the last one was part of a connector. As a result, well, the word formation I'm not going to speak. I'm just going to speak about the big mistakes here because most of the people made these mistakes, and these are mistakes that can be avoided. I can't believe many people here put is. It says Robert had never been to Turkey. Had never been, past perfect. ¿Cómo puedo poner present acá? Well, most of the people put it is the first time. Unbelievable. And the same, believe it or not, happened here in 27. I have present perfect and people put past here. So far, es marcador de present perfect. Means hasta ahora. So it can never be past. Then, going in order. Number one, the tense was the problem. El resto estaba bien, pero mucha gente se equivocó en el tiempo verbal. Then, this one. I have a past participle here. What are the possible combination of a past participle? Can I have was and then a past participle? Sí, a passive voice. But was this passive voice? Okay, well, so it was not passive voice. It was speculation, right? Speculation. Cuando yo tengo un past participle, o sea, un verbo en la tercera columna o un verbo irregular, yo me tengo que cuestionar, ok, ¿cuáles son las opciones? Y speculation es una de las opciones. Yes, y si la oración habla de possibilities, aún más speculation es una de las opciones. So you need to think about this. Then, number 27. Present perfect was the problem. Mucha gente puso was, blah, 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 no increase. There was no increase. But it was present perfect. So there has been no increase. Then, 28, most of the people did correctly. And 29 is avoid of and then ing. But here we have the phrase so, right? You can have so as to avoid or so to avoid, but you need to say of doing something. Y la última, que mucha gente también se equivocó, es the bad weather prevented me from doing something. El from puede estar o no puede estar, pero siempre digo, si tienen espacio en cantidad de palabritas, lo ponen. Why? Because from me hace acordarme de que el verbo después va con ing. From getting to the airport. All right? This is a dependent preposition and it helps me. Me ayuda un montón porque yo sé que después de una preposición el verbo va con ing. Okay? Well, that's it, people. I just wanted to clarify this. Bye-bye.